Alright, good morning. It's been a while since I updated you on the van build. Last few videos, if you've been following along, have kind of been more things I've learned about van life and van building. And that's really because I haven't done that much on the van lately. There's some new stuff to show you, so I'm going to show you what we've got done and talk about kind of the 80-20 framing. I've been getting a lot of questions about why I'm using the extruded aluminum. What is it? What does it do? Why did I choose it? Why am I not using wood? How do you put it together? So in this video, we're gonna go over the kind of update, what I've done in the van so far since last time I checked in, and talk about the extruded aluminum. So got my oatmeal, got my coffee. Employee of the month, the dad, he's on his way out here today, and we're gonna do some more work on the cabinets. So see you out there. Alright, I'm back up on the roof. It's been a while since I was up here. Last time I was up here today was gonna be a good day. When I screwed up the vent fan. But that's all fixed. Everything up here still looks good, which is a bonus. So the goal today was to do more cabinet framing with the 80-20. We started that, got a bit done, and ran into a bit of a dilemma with just like my layout, how my fridge and everything's gonna work. So I've got some ciphering to do to figure out exactly what I want to do. I'll show you that later. All right, so now we got the wide angle lens on, so you should be able to see the van a little bit better while I kind of explain my layout and my little bit of a dilemma. This side's all good, driver's side. So I got my upper cabinets, my bed. It's gonna be kind of a futon style bed that's gonna pull out. So it's gonna go from 30 inches, another 20 on a slider. So it'll be a 20 inches by, I think it's like 6'2". So it's a nice big bed. In the back corner here, this is gonna be my galley. So I've got my cooktop sink storage. That's gonna be like a counter right here. And then this side is kind of the storage. This is where everything's stored. So this is where the dilemma starts. So let me kind of reorganize the van so I can kind of show you what my issue was. So I got everything kind of all cleaned out of that area so I can kind of show you. So this whole side of the van is going to be storage. On this side of the van, I plan on having on the bottoms, the lower part is the water tank, fridge, and the cassette toilet. I'm going with the Medic cassette toilet in this van. More on that later. Okay, here you see. So I just have the sort of the rough frame. So it's like all there, down to the floor. So it's just kind of getting the layout. I got to box this all in. So that's sort of the area I'm working with. Now let me show you how everything is supposed to, how I had intended for everything to go. First thing, fresh water. This is the 32-gallon freshwater tank from Northwest. This thing is awesome. It's got this custom sort of cutout that goes right over top of the wheel well so you don't waste any space. So this is my fresh water, 32 gallons. I wanted it inside the van because my last one was underneath. A lot of winter camming. Had to deal with an alternate solution so my fresh water didn't freeze. Solution? Put the fresh water on the inside. So this is item one. Is the Medic cassette toilet back here. Item three is my Medic fridge, which is the, it's not bad. All right, so this was supposed to be my rough layout. I was gonna have the fridge, the water, and the toilet all lined up. The fridge would kind of be out in the open here, but you'd have a lot of room to sit on the bed because your back would be against the couch. It'd be right at the front here, so when you're doing groceries, open it up, boom, done. But first things, my plan was to have it on a little bit of a slide so that it would actually fill up this gap right here, so it would go tight. But because the van, I don't know if you can see that, I'll show you out here. But I measured it down here, and you can see the van curves up. So now I don't have enough clearance to get it past this rail to get it tight to there. So a possible solution is I can move this top bar by putting some longer brackets on here. I can move this top bar out a bit. That's not a big deal because I haven't fastened the bottom rail. So that's problem number one, fridge. So what do you guys think? Do I leave the fridge here? Or, so the benefits of the fridge here. The reason I wanted the fridge here. I like that you can just, easy access. It's always accessible. When you're doing groceries, you come to the sliding door, boom, load them right in. You don't have to load them into the van, then load them into the fridge. And with the bed here, you know, there's still plenty of space here to walk through. And I don't want to sit on it because I don't have it built yet, and it also acts as kind of a second bench. I could get like a cushion made for the top, and this is sort of a second sort of sitting area, so I could have, you know, one person on here, one person on the bed, two people on the bed, and then I also have, I'm gonna have swivel seats. That's kind of why I wanted it. That's kind of why I wanted to put it there. So if that's where I keep it, I just have to move this bar out and do that. Boom. So that's the other option. So the other option is I put the fridge inside of this unit. That now frees up all of this space. So it's a lot more space. I'm losing a seat. I'm losing the ability to put stuff directly from the outside when I'm doing groceries into the van. I'm taking up a bit of storage in here, but I still think I have lots because I have all of this up here. Another pro is that, you know, I'm going to be cooking at the galley here. So I would have everything kind of right here. This would have to be on a slider. So this would be on heavy duty, like probably 500-pound sliders. This would slide out into here and you'd open it up. So what do you guys think? Do I put the fridge here and keep it, put the fridge here and have it as a seat, or do I put it inside my storage unit and have it on slides that comes out for the galley? Let me know what you would do there, because I gotta make a decision on that. The other thing I had to make a decision on is the toilet. So the cassette toilet. My original plan was to have it in this back corner. But as you can see, I'm a little short here and it doesn't fit. And if I could push the tank forward, I mean, I could get it to fit there. The problem is that I kind of wanted this bar, the reason I moved this bar in is because I wanted some room on the back of this to hang stuff like a snowboard when the door was closed. And if I had this too far out, you wouldn't be able to close the door with like a snowboard sitting here. So I'm not sure, should I make this longer so I can put the toilet here? I think my answer is no. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put the toilet on the other side. Fits perfect right there. Put the toilet right there. It's going to be on a slide. It's going to slide out into the middle here, and you'll use the toilet right there. So I think that's my solution for that. So I'm not too worried about this. But now I just really have to figure out what should I do for the fridge. Do I have it here on a slider so it slides out, cooking, doo-doo-doo, or do I have it over there so it's more like a seat? I don't know. I don't know. Definitely let me know in the comments how you would solve both of these problems, what you suggest I do. When I run my wires, I use these like Blue Sea cable clamps, they're called. I used them on my last van. They work really good. And I'm going to use this stepper bit to drill the hole. So I'm going to put it up here in the front because my control panel is like relatively right below this, so I wanted to minimize the length of my runs in my wire that I had to fish inside the vehicle, because it's a lot easier to fish out here than in the van. So let's install this. So I got these wires on the top of the roof finished. It actually went really well, which is surprising because pretty much everything takes 3 times as long as I think it's going to, and that pretty much went perfect. And I was worried I was going to have to remove the ceiling to fish some of the wires, and I didn't even have to do that. So you can see the wires are run there. Now I just got to fish them in the walls, which should be pretty simple, so I'm going to do that now. So you like how I put the electrical tape on?
Oh yeah, sure. In a really good way.
It's easy to get it off.
Oh, it's super, yeah, super perfect.
All right, I started filming this video yesterday and the day just kind of ran away on me. Things didn't go as planned. It was gonna be, which seems to be happening very frequently, but when things don't go as planned, basically I have a video mapped out in my head and that video goes out the window, and then instead of pivoting and just keeping it rolling, I just stop using the camera while I'm trying to figure out the issue at hand. Figuring it out, and sometimes I want to rush to figure it out because I want to just keep the day going. But then if I want to rush, I make decisions I regret. So I stopped working on that and I pivoted to work on something else. So I know sometimes it sounds like I'm maybe, complaining, or not complaining, but that we haven't been getting much done on the van. But in reality, we have gotten a ton of stuff done on the van. Just sometimes when you look at it, it's all the stuff behind the walls, behind the scenes. But, we have got the ceiling 100% installed. So we've got the perforated, padded marine vinyl ceiling with the L-track already installed. I'm going to get that L-track powder coated, so it's going to look it's going to pop, because I don't know which color yet. Haven't figured that out, but I'm going to get that powder coated. We've installed a air compressor underneath the hood of the van. We went with I think it's the Viair 450. I'll put a link up for that. So we installed that. We installed a 2-gallon compressor. We installed the mount in the front. We got an air check in the front, air check in the back. We got the switch under the bench, gauge. So that's all hooked up, ready to go. We've run all of the wiring. And if you know wiring vans, that's kind of the hardest thing, because you're just always worried. You're like, all right, so I've got the water pump here, but my power source is over here, so I got to run it up and over, but I want my switch over here. So you're constantly just making sure you've run all of the wire you need to do. So that's been one of the biggest head scratchers, and just making sure I ran all the wire I needed to, getting it all fished, because it's easier to do it ahead of time. On the outside of the van, I got that wire all run, so I've got my antenna for my router wires run. I've got my solar wires run. I've got my 4 separate light circuits for front, driver's side, passenger side, and rear lighting run onto the roof. So all of that stuff is done. And yeah, so far I'm super happy with everything. The progress has been, it's been slow, but there is lots getting done. And now that we're starting the cabinet framing, I think it's really going to start to rock and roll. See you guys. I just don't know. I don't know.